No amount of technology is going to stop continuing warfare, continuing racism, continuing economic disparity, continuing climate disruption, because those are all rooted in the human heart. The outer technologies of the world now have to be matched by the inner technology. Well, how do we do that?
What I hear talking to a lot of young people today, people who are like, yeah, great, Tammy, really glad you're so interested in spiritual awakening and mystical realizations. Our planet is in some serious trouble in terms of climate change, social justice issues, ecological destruction. I hope the efforts you're making to educate people about mystical awakening are going to have some real on-the-ground culture changes. And I wonder if you can address that from your perspective, how we make sure that our touching into the timeless has a big impact in the world of time, a real impact.
This is one of the best questions you've asked. Thank you. All of us can see that there's no technological fix, that no amount of computers and artificial intelligence and nanotechnology and biotech and space tech and all those amazing things where you have the great library of Alexander in your phone in your pocket along with 5 million cat videos, that no amount of technology is going to stop continuing warfare, continuing racism, continuing economic disparity, continuing climate disruption, because those are all rooted in the human heart. And so the outer technologies of the world now have to be matched by the inner technology. We are, as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said in the past, a nation of nuclear giants and ethical infants. Well, how do we do that? We have to marry the activism that matters to us with the transformation of consciousness. And my dear friend Wes Scoop-Nisker went to talk to Gary Snyder. Gary, Pulitzer Prize-winning poet, environmentalist for more than half a century. He got the Pulitzer Prize for Earth Household. Great environmentalist. Gary, the oceans are rising, species are losing their habitat and going extinct. The heat domes, the Arctic's melting. What do you have to say to us? And Gary said, don't feel guilty. If you feel guilty or angry or frightened, he said, although those are natural, that's not what's going to save it. They're a part of what made it this way. They're the problems, along with greed and fear and confusion and ignorance. He said, if you're going to save it because you love it. Save it because you love it. That's the only force. You can't do it out of anger. You can't do it out of fear. Love is the power that has mothers pick cars off their children. So what we must do is marry the sacred with the practical, the mystical with this embodiment in this unbearably beautiful and troubled world with the ocean of tears and magnificence to it. It's got to come from a different state of consciousness. And then it has to be joyful. If it's not joy, what kind of world do you want to make? What kind of party do you want to have? So the big thing that people learn also in this journey is not to be so judgmental of themselves. Well, I'm not doing enough, I'm this and that. We're so self-judgmental. I love this passage from an old Tibetan nun. At the end of her life, she writes, my old faults, like snow falling on warm ground, just melting away. So much compassion for all of our humanity. You save it because it's mysterious and magic, and it's part of you.
And what's your advice, Jack, if you would be willing to dispense some advice, 3 pieces of wise counsel for young mystics today?
This is from Lori Chapman. She writes, I like nothing more in the world than sitting on my ass doing nothing, just resting and listening. And it's not my fault I have this attitude because I happen to have a very amazingly comfortable ass. It may not look like much, but if you could sit on this baby for 2 minutes, you'd realize that getting up off this ass would be a crime against nature. And I read it partly because it's fun and I like it, but also because there's this dynamic of breathing in and breathing out, of acting and caring, and also quieting the mind and tending the heart, to set your ass down and listen to the trees and listen to your heartbeat, and feel the gift of your life with all its terrible sufferings and all its amazing possibilities, and quiet yourself. And then you get to know, you'll listen and you'll feel, what's my next step? You don't have to save the world. That would be kind of a little hubris and ego. You have to reach your hand out and mend the place that you can touch. And that's what's given to you. And that will nourish your heart. And then you become part of a great song that says, yes, we are mending and tending the beauty of this world. And we're doing it from a place that it's us, that it's our body and our love. That was all three wrapped in one.
Beautiful, a beautiful braid. And to end, Jack, can we conclude with some kind of blessing right here for all the people joining us?
With all the troubles and the beauty of this mysterious world, you have the ability both to remember who you really are, which is loving awareness itself, born into this life, and then to express it in this world. There's a beautiful chant that begins, Sapitio vivacantu saparo ko vinasatu made pavatwantarayo. I won't continue it, but this chant says, just as the full moon shines down equally on all things, just as the rains rain equally on all things to nourish them and gathers in rivulets and streams and rivers and goes back to the great ocean, so may all the good deeds of your life, all the moments of care and thought, of which there are many in your life, in everyone's life, to care for yourself and others in the world, may they gather together. May you remember your power of goodness. And may they gather together and bring an ocean of blessings to you, to the people you love, to the community, to the earth that holds you, to all the troubled beings and the magnificent beings that make up this world, so that your life is a blessing.
Discover on-demand videos and docuseries, explore a full schedule of daily life classes, and become part of an incredible community. At Sounds True One, we invite you inward to find your way your way.